Welcome to the Felt Dyslexic Artist Interview. My name is Liz Buckridge. For me, as a dyslexic artist, other artists and creatives have always been my number one inspiration. In these interviews, we talk to artists and creatives who share their stories and gain insight into their process from inspiration to art tips, career building, and more. We're so lucky to listen to the wisdom of Samantha Heydt today. I'm so excited to hear about her past and future projects and share her insight on life as an artist. Welcome, Sam.
Hi, how
Thank
you
you for
doing?
talking with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So, describe the art you make. What mediums do you primarily work in, and why do you choose those mediums?
So in the last like 7 to 8 years, I've moved into like mixed media collage work, and even more so lately, I've been using like augmented reality to like make the analog images move. So sort of conflating two forms, like an old sort of antiquated technology with a new form.
Cool. How did you get into making art? Can you tell us about your background and how you first became interested in art?
Well, as you know, my father's an artist, and so being brought up around that environment inspired me to follow in his footsteps.
I love that. So, um, how did you get into your specific style? Like, what subjects inspire you?
Um, I moved like what depends on like which part of my career you're talking about, but like the recent collage stuff was really inspired by sort of like the grotesque pornography out of Austria, and so I started like that's when I moved from like photography into collage.
Wow, that's cool. So, do you consider yourself neurodivergent or neurotypical?
Like both those words did not exist when I grew up, but like now, like as like an adult, 40-year old, I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'm neurodivergent apparently. But yeah, those weren't terms we used growing up.
Yeah, I understand that. Have you faced any challenges or setbacks in your art career, and how did you overcome them?
That's all an art career is. Literally.
Yeah,
It's just about like getting back up and continuing to do it and not letting it discourage you. You know what I mean? For every 10 rejections I get one yes. And I'm okay with those odds. You know what I mean? I just keep going, keep going. But like setbacks are like just part of the whole, you know, it isn't like any other career.
yeah. Where did you grow up?
New York.
Yeah. Do
I'm
you
part time
remember?
here
Oh, part-time here too.
in the summers.
Do you remember doing art when you were a little kid?
Yeah, but not to the same sort of compulsive extent that I did like into my 20s and 30s and 40s. You know what I mean? Like I always liked to draw, I always liked to doodle, but like and I was always good in my art class, but it wasn't really clear that I wanted to be an artist from a young age. Like I thought I wanted to be like an investment banker or something, or an astronaut, or an astrophysicist,
Yeah,
but like not great at math.
yeah.
So those were kind of out.
All right. Well, do you have a favorite colorway for your art? And is the colorway the same or different than the colors that you use like in your personal space, like in your house?
Oh no, it's all like bold and like every single complementary color. Yeah, it's
I
pretty
love that.
saturated.
I love that. Describe the space where you make your art. Like, where are we?
And it's like a chaotic space I was just complaining about earlier. It's very organized, but there's a lot going on. Well, yeah, a lot of labeling required. I like to keep everything. So I'm like a hoarder that has like OCD. So there's lots of labels and drawers.
I think it all looks very organized to me.
Oh no, it's organized. It's just still very chaotic. It's just still like too much. But like, how do you keep having so much and like knowing where to find everything? But like, there's always something that I find, and I'm like, you never freaking know when I can use this. And every single time I throw it away, I swear to God, like the day after, I'm like, I need that one little tiny weird thing, that served no purpose until this moment. So I like to keep it, label it, put it there, and like, so I know where I can get it.
I
I'm
understand.
big on recycling.
I get it. How did your school system support your interest in art growing up?
I don't want to be as so harsh as my dad's kind of like it didn't. I mean, it kind of did. Like we did some like, still life drawing classes and whatnot. I don't know if like without the other environment that I had, if like my school would have allowed me to. I mean, honestly, very few of my friends I went to university with ended up pursuing an art degree. But I think that there's a twofold issue here because like the cost of education in America is so high that like to go to like higher education at a university and go like 200 grand in debt for an art degree, you're shooting yourself in the foot. I had a scholarship, so by the time I went around to it, I didn't have like the huge mounting debt that a lot of my friends faced. So I could kind of have the freedom that you wouldn't have if you had, a $70,000 a year art degree. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, how does art school help you become an artist? I really don't think people should go to art school. And also, and also for multiple reasons, I just want to do A, because you're gonna get yourself in serious debt. B, because like, do you need to look like all the other people anyway? If you feel compelled to create art, you should create art anyway. Learn from the masters, but like, if you study them too closely, you end up duplicating them. Be original. Don't look at so much of what other people are doing. Create something that's coming out of your imagination. I think it's important to study what people in the past have done, but not to the point where you're going to end up looking like some, iteration of them, you know? So I think a lot of people, like any artist that wants to pursue art, definitely I would advise against art school for
Okay.
multiple reasons.
Yeah, I get that. How do you see your work evolving or changing in the future? What do you have planned?
So next year during like the Aqua art fair in my Art Miami, what I want, so I'm starting working with like AI and AR and the new technologies and trying to like take all like on my old analog collage work and bring and accelerate because I was in photography. When I went to university, I went to school for photography and I was still there when they still had dark rooms and like went through the process of seeing the digitization of the whole medium where the entire industry just went digital. And I was like the last one on the bus with that one. So in this time around, I'm like, I don't want to be the last one being like, no, it's not. Okay, I'm going to be the first one. And like, there's a lot of things. It's not going to necessarily take your job. There's tools you can use. If you're smart, you can figure out a way of like really enhancing the work you're creating. And people that don't have those ideas, they're not going to be able to create the same sort of work that you're able to create with the same technology. So I don't really think that is going to like, destroy the art world like a lot of artists and people within the industry are saying with this new technology. But like augmented reality and things. So and when the project creating so art so there will be like an art fair. You walk into Aqua Art Fair, it's the courtyard, it's blah, blah, blah. But beforehand you can scan a QR code. I don't know if I want to even share this because it's kind of whatever. You scan a code and then you can also view the fair through your phone, in which case the fair is a much different scene where you have like homeless tents and like refugee like wraps and like this gallery is actually on fire, this one's actually flooded, and you can only see it through your phone. So it'll be like a virtual reality installation on top of the actual fair that will exist throughout the entire fair, but in the main fair. So I'm talking to the fair director now about like what I'm allowed to do.
Wow.
And then the other project I'm trying to do is I'm trying to colonize the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. I got a lot of friends at the UN, and I got some sailor friends, and like a bunch of nudist sailors from like Costa Rica, female that have a boat. Go out to the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, colonize it as a nation state, and then get a seat at the UN so you can speak on behalf of the ocean. So those are like the two projects I'm currently working on.
God, that is amazing. Is I feel like I know the answer to this already, but is making art an emotional process for you or strategic?
Neither.
Oh,
Neither. It's more of a satirical thing, or as a way of like it's a reactionary like it's a reactionary response to like what's going on around me.
I love that. Um, can you walk us through your creative process from idea to finished piece?
I just have lots of ideas. I don't like have like one, and like that's why I'm like more prolific than like profound with a lot of my work because I just have a lot of ideas constantly, and like none of them I'm like that interested in that I want to like stick with for like more than a minute, because I got like a ton more behind. You know what I mean? I'm like, let's just. So what I do is I produce a ton of small works, and then if there's a collector or gallery, an institution, anything that wants to buy one, then I'll invest in like the energy of like building the bigger version of it. But like that idea for me is like at that point it's like past the creative process. It's more just like it becomes more like process driven, right? Like I'm just rebuilding it larger. It's still an original and it's still like way better than the smaller one. But like I have much more fun just like pushing them out and having all the little ideas. And then once in a while I'm like, oh, that's a really good one now. And they come, you know what I mean? Just like as a photographer, you take 1,000 photographs and once in a blue moon you go, that one. That's like, okay, hang my hat on. Let's nail it. But I think you have to do that work to get to that one great one. You have to produce tons. And like my father is almost different because he'll be very like he gives it the same. It's almost it's same but different. He'll spend like weeks and weeks, and if he doesn't like it, start again. But like eventually he arrives there. For me, I'll have to produce tons and tons and tons and never maybe get there, but then finally get one. And I'm like, okay, I got it there.
I love that. Um, how do people find your art to purchase?
On my, I mean, that's actually a good question. On my website, I think, but like email me or DM me on Instagram.
Yeah.
It should be more set up on my website, but like I've noticed recently that I'm on Artsy.
Okay.
Yeah, Artsy. I got like 5 galleries to represent me. Like normally, I don't handle my own sales. My gallerists do, but like yeah, on Artsy you can reach me. Artsy/Samantha Heydt or Sam Heydt. Um, on my website you can theoretically buy some things. I don't have the time to put everything up that I've made.
Yeah.
Um,
And we'll put that information in the show notes. Can you share a recent project or piece of work that you're particularly happy about?
I recently did a show in Venice or the Biennale where I did this augmented reality install that was really kind of the first of its kind. It would be still images that if you rolled your phone over, they'd move. And really, I just think that like it was a little ambitious. I did the QR codes like 12 years ago before anyone had the QR code technology. I did film stills. Similar, same experience because I'm like, it didn't work on anyone's phone, but like it worked on enough people's phone. I think it was a success. But it'll be something that people will remember, like in the future, like, oh yeah, way before anyone else was doing this, because no one had the thing. In the future, this will be very easy. It's just the same thing like COVID made everyone aware of what a QR code is. But 10 years ago, ask someone what a QR code is. Got to download the app on their phone. It's the whole thing. So, you know, I kind of did the same thing again this year in Venice, and hopefully people remember me for it.
That's very cool. Um, so how do you I'm gonna just skip to this one. What advice would you give to actually, you know what? I think that you actually gave really good advice. And all right.
Of two upcoming artists, like
Yeah.
really make sure you want to do this.
Yeah.
It's not an easy. And also, anyone that's going here to be famous, I'm like, what are you crazy?
Oh yeah.
It's not.
No.
Although all you hear about is famous artists, I hang out with a lot of them, but I'm like, this is like the 2%.
Well, that's why I'm doing these videos is I actually just want to talk to people that are making art.
And the other thing is, just like, listen, if that's what's propelling you into this industry, then don't do it. It's really just to clear, like, you know what I mean, to create like a clean space for like just the purist. Because if you're in it for the money, or if you're in it for the fame, if you're in it to get laid, just please save yourself the time, energy, and like our frustration, because it's like you're cluttering the space.
Yeah. Um, well, is there anything that you would want to talk about that I didn't ask?
I don't think so. Pretty, yeah.
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 I think you covered it all.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for talking with us there,
Thank you.
Elizabeth.
Now,
Enjoy your
do I have a
studio.
favorite movie? Oh, I guess I do have a favorite movie, Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I felt inspired for sure being around you. I mean, you give a lot of energy. You're a lot of fun. And thank you for being here.
Thanks for talking to me.